I'll bring you up to speed kind of where we're at in Montana. We actually have been under the process of rewriting our crack sealing manual for our own folks. It is in final draft at this time. We're hoping to release it here within maybe a month or two. We are still sticking to the basics, 3-to-1 route on all of our transverse cracks. We're using a 3/4 by 3/4 on longitudinal cracking. I think the one thing that most of the areas are doing, we actually have 10 divisions statewide. How each process is determined by the area chief. Most of the areas are filling with a Band-Aid at this time, and I think we're getting much better results using a Band-Aid. It's something that a lot of areas have tried and have had great success with it. We're trying to keep it very narrow as far as our banding goes on top of our crack seal. The one area that we're having problems is on the larger cracks that we're not routing. Few areas are starting to try that without routing. It's working very well for us. We're basically just blowing and filling and putting a Band-Aid on it. Seems to be holding up really well. A few of the areas tried it with just blowing and filling level full, and we found out we started receiving some hairline cracking on the sides and down the center. I think the one thing that Montana is really working on at this time, there's a few guys in this room that were on the committee with myself. We're definitely pushing for much cooler temperatures to crack seal. We're actually looking for new guidance from our vendors, Craftco, Deary, McAsphalt. For temperature ratings, we would like to start going to even cooler temperatures than a 35-degree low end. Some of our contractors are going to have a little heartache with it because a lot of them like to go to other states in the winter, but I think we've determined that it's giving us a much better process. Crack sealing in the cooler temperatures, your cracks are extended much more than they would be in warm weather, and we're finding that we're not getting secondary cracking. So we've been pushing it pretty hard. Like I say, there's a few divisions here that are already in the process of doing it. As far as our actual crack sealing, we probably contract about 2/3 of our crack sealing, but 1/3 of it is done by our own maintenance forces. And I think maybe the difference between us and Nevada, we have very experienced operators that know crack sealing and they know it very well. We've got people that have been doing it a long time. They're not scared to try something new when they find a new road that could be cracked out differently. The other thing that we're doing, we're finding some of our older roads, because of budget like everybody, we're starting to use a lot of Mastic 1. A lot of areas are using it. They're really liking it. We're kind of curious to what we're going to have for secondary cracking on the Mastic 1 and how to deal with it. It's not as flexible material, but right now it's doing an awesome job for us. We've been doing a lot of center meat line with Mastic 1 with great results. As far as the transverse cracking, we have some of our older roads that have some pretty good deflection in them. We've been doing it with that. We've actually built our own boxes. We've built them down to 4 inches so we can do it in one pass, not wasting a lot of material. As far as changes, we really haven't made a lot. Like I say, I think we have a lot of senior employees that know what they're doing. Our crack sealing is going very strong right now. Most of our divisions are hitting it very hard every year. With budget restraints, they're doing everything they can. The other thing we're looking at and trying to get across is when you crack seal, you chip seal within a year. And we're finding that we're probably extending the life of that pavement right around 10 years. So I think it's been a good last few years or even more, but I think it's going to get even more extensive for us. We use a Craftco 522 Road Saver, we use a Deary 101 Elite, and we use a McAsphalt 3060 LM. That's the only 3 products that we have on the QPL at this time, and I think we'll probably stick there. They're an extra low modulus material that seems to be working very well for us. We've had some excellent results with them, and I think it's been on our QPL for a long time. So if you have any questions and want to know any more about what we do, let me know. Yeah.